Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, class. I am Asma Nizam and I will teach you computers. Let's have the introduction of your book. Keyboard Computer Science with Application Software, 3rd edition, Book 6. This book is for class P1. This book has total 10 chapters, but we will start with the first chapter, the computer system. Today we will cover from page number 1 till page number 4. It includes different input-output devices. We will do all these in details. Let's start. The first chapter begins with the topic classifications of computers by size. On the basis of size, we can classify computers into 5 groups. Those 5 major groups are mobile computers, microcomputers, mini computers, mainframe computers, and supercomputers. As you can see, I have prepared a slide according to your syllabus. Now, mobile computers. What are these mobile computers? Mobile computers are the smallest computers designed to be carried out by users. The examples are laptops, ultrabooks, netbooks, tablets, e-book readers, smartphones, PDA, PMPs. These all are your mobile computers. Let's have the study of all these. Laptop. Laptops are portable versions of desktop PCs, where our netbooks are smaller than laptops and usually do not have DVD drives. Both laptops and netbooks are capable of learning the same software. But I told you that the difference between laptops and netbooks is that laptops are having DVD drives, but netbooks do not have. Netbooks focus on the internet access. An ultrabook is another category of laptops that is slimmer and lighter, but built to offer the same performance as a laptop. You can see the example of laptop. Now, tablets. These are easy to identify because it is in the hands of all the students, all the kids, right? They come without a keyboard and mouse and are operated through touch screen. E-book readers are used to store and read books, newspapers, and magazines, right? You can see the picture of an e-reader. Kindle is an example of an e-book reader. Smartphones are phones with wireless internet connectivity. You can see this is the smartphone, alright? Now, PDA, personal digital assistant. A personal digital assistant is also known as palm-top computers. Another name for it is palm-top computers. They are handheld devices and can function as a cell phone, fax sender, personal organizer, and have the ability to connect to the internet. What else is required then? Okay, now see the image or a picture of a PDA. Now, a PMP, that is the long form of it is portable media player. This is an electronic device that stores and plays audio, images, and videos. Now, we have done mobile computers. Now comes the category of microcomputers. The next is microcomputers. If you remember that I told you we have divided computers into 5 different categories. The first category was mobile computers, which I have told you there are different options like laptops, tablets, smartphones, PMPs, and e-book readers. Now the second category is microcomputers. A microcomputer is a small computer. You can see it is a small computer that is used by one person at a time. The desktop computers that you see in most offices, schools, colleges, and homes are microcomputers. Desktop computers are also known as personal computers or PCs, right? Another name for microcomputers is PC. PC stands for personal computer. You can see the picture of it. This is what you can see at homes. Even in your school or a college lab, you can find these. Alright, next comes your mainframe computers. Mainframe computers are larger than microcomputers, typically being the same size as a refrigerator. I'll show you the picture of it. You can see it looks like a refrigerator. Mainframe computers are big, powerful, and expensive multi-users. They are multi-users. The multi-users computers mean so many people can get data from it at the same time. And here I have written few examples of it. Now comes the mini computer. They are actually, you can see the picture of it. They are actually the size of refrigerators. And they were first appeared in 1960s, and in 1980s they got replaced by microcomputers, which have become smaller and more powerful with time. Alright, now comes the supercomputers. The name tells you that they are the biggest and most powerful computers. They often occupy whole rooms. They can process trillions of instructions per second. They are used in government organizations, and they are used for numeric calculations such as weather forecasting. You can see the picture of it. They are supercomputers. Now, whatever be the size, a computer system consists of two main components, hardware and software. Let's discuss each of these separately. Now comes hardware. The physical components of a computer system that we can see and touch are called hardware. Suppose if I touch mouse, so this is a physical component and I can touch it. This is called hardware. Monitor, you can touch monitor. This is also called hardware, right? Okay, there are different types of hardwares. Input and output devices, storage devices, and the central processing units are examples of hardware. Now, what are input devices? Input devices accept input from the user and convert it into a form that the computer can understand. Supermarkets, banks use specialized input devices to collect large amounts of data rapidly. Such devices include barcode reader, magnetic ink characters reader, optical character readers, and card readers. Barcode reader. You know what is it? Now I show you the picture so you can easily understand what is it. See, you have seen it many places. You may have seen barcodes on products like grocery items and clothes. A barcode is a unique combination of vertical bars that appears or represents product information such as price, place of manufacturer, and the cashier uses a barcode to scan the barcode on each purchased item which gets input into the computer. The computer uses the barcode to identify the product. QR codes. QR codes are a new style of barcodes in square shape that can store enormous data. Smartphones are able to scan and read QR code. Now, related to QR codes, you can see the picture of it. Okay, I will show you a video in which you can use QR code to connect your smartphones or connect your WhatsApp with your laptop. Now move towards the next one, magnetic ink character readers. Magnetic ink is a special ink that contains magnetic particles of iron oxide. Magnetic ink character readers can scan characters printed in magnetic ink. This technique is called magnetic ink character recognition (MICR). It is used extensively in banks because magnetic ink characters are difficult to forge. This makes them ideal for making and identify checks. Checks usually have the check number, bank code, and branch code printed in magnetic ink. This information is scanned by magnetic ink character readers and the checks are stored city-wise or branch-wise. I show you the picture of it. At the bottom of the check, there is something written with MICR code. It is written with a special ink called magnetic ink, right? Whatever this code is, MICR code is written here. It is written with a special ink that contains magnetic particles of iron oxide, right? And magnetic ink character reader can easily read these letters or numbers which contains iron oxide. It is extensively used in banks. Okay, next comes your optical character reader. An optical character reader is a device to input normal printed or handwritten text. The process first produces a digital image of the text. Character recognition software is then used to convert the image into character codes that can be understood, stored, and processed by computer. This technique is called optical character recognition. This is, you can see in the image that all these files will be converted into composed form using an OCR. Another picture can easily tells you what is OCR. The image, whatever is written on a page, is converted using OCR software into a text, right? That text will appear on the screen in a composed form, but it will not copy all the editing. It can just copy the text, the formatting or different styles which you have applied. You can do it yourself. Take good care of yourself. See you next time, inshallah. Stay home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.